Sports for Real with Coach Hall. Today we're going back to the 48 laws of power and how they apply to sports. And the law today is law number 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. I got a couple examples that I witnessed, and then we'll talk about that. The first example, you are brand new to an organization. You're going to be the one to lead the organization, and you have a whole bunch of people under you. You come in and right away you said, I don't know any of you, so I don't trust you. Therefore, this is the way things are going to be. I am going to make all the changes necessary to run this organization, whether you like it or not. Okay, that's the first example. The second example, same position, somebody comes in new to leadership, and they want to try to turn the organization around and move it forward. You come in and say, I am new to this position. I am going to do everything that is necessary to improve this organization, and with that I need the cooperation of all of those who are willing to help. Then behind the scenes you start introducing yourself and getting cozy with the people who's been there for a long time. These people are going to tell you the ins and outs, and then based on the information that you get from these people, you're going to make the subtle changes necessary to inch the institution forward. Okay, two examples there. Which do you think was the most successful? Give up? The second example, and I'll tell you why. It is very important to count on the people who has been there long before you, who knows all the ins and outs, who knows to get what it is necessary to make the organization function, and you need to pick these people's brains so you can make the changes to move forward. Now in that first example, that person didn't do it. You came in right away and say, I don't trust anybody, and this is the way it's going to be done. Basically saying, I don't care what you have to say, what's been going on before, this is the way it's going to be. Well, in some cases, that would be an effective technique, but for the most part, it's detrimental to the organization. And the reason why, because you have people who have learned to keep others dependent on them. Take a football program. In every football program, you're going to find a coach that's been there 15, 20 years. He's endured 5 or 6 different head coach change, and he's seen all the different ways that things can go wrong. He knows what's best for this particular organization. The new coach, he knows that he's only going to be there but for so long. That assistant coach, who's endured several head coaches, knows that he's probably going to be there after this new guy is gone. So he has learned to find a way to make himself useful. And by doing that, what he's doing is actually learning everything about the organization. He's made connections with people to know, and he knows that he's not going to be easily dismissed on the whims of some new coach. And he has made himself valuable to that institution. Now, in the other situation, they had people just like this assistant coach that I'm talking about, and it's their desire to get rid of these people because they feel like these people are going to hold them back. In some cases, that is very true, but you have to find out who those people are, then you get rid of them. But you don't get rid of them just because you think they might be against you. Let them show you who they are, and by sitting back and examining what's going on and then making the changes that you feel that you have to make, that are necessary, then it will make a big difference as opposed to you going in there just getting rid of everybody just because you feel like they're all going to be against you no matter what. So again, the example here to learn from is the assistant coach that's been there for 15, 20 years. They have learned to keep themselves valuable to others. People depend on them. And those are the kind of people that you want to know so you can lead your organization. And if you're not a leader, you want to be just like that person by learning all the ins and outs, making the valuable connections so that somebody can't just come in and just usher you out the door. Sports for Real.